Hey, hey, hey! I got a question for you guys. Everybody who has worked in the automotive industry, automotive service, how's that? I don't forget parts and all that stuff. Service. You worked at Jiffy Lube, you worked at Quick Lube, you worked at 10-Minute Lube, you worked at Anal Lube, Firestone, Pep Boys. And do you remember what your starting wage was when you started in the business? And then now you look at it today, and I'm just going to give you an example. I started working at Midas when I was 17, just about 18. I was making $5.50 an hour, and that was in 1991. And then now I see what these guys are getting paid for no experience and no tools. And I had experience. I majored in industrial arts in high school, and I didn't finish high school. I dropped out, but I did woods, drafting, metals, construction trades, and I couldn't sit in a classroom environment and do that. So let me tell you a little bit about me at that point. Back then, ADHD wasn't really a diagnosed condition. They just said you were a bad kid, at least for me. So when I sat in a classroom environment that didn't stimulate my sensory the way I needed to, I had to just put my head down or disconnect from what was going on. And then now you as that individual, because you can't cope with that lesson in that environment because your sensory is so off, you wind up just, getting sent to the office. So eventually what happened is, as when I got into my second freshman year, because I didn't want to be in school, I said I'm going to take all the industrial arts classes that I can throughout the day. And I excelled in wood shop, I excelled in metals, auto shop, construction trades, drafting, things that was my hand and mind working together instead of like mind, pen, and paper. Because back then, your lessons were reading and writing, and now I don't even know what they are. But at that point, what happened for me is that auto shop, I super excelled at. And then the auto shop teacher's like, wow, you really just have a natural ability. I'm not patting myself on the back. When I was a young boy, I was always taking things apart, so my mind worked that way. They actually wound up taking me out of all my academic classes, and then I spent the entire day in industrial arts. So I didn't have auto shop all day long, but if you needed to find me, I would be in one of the shop classes all day long, if not construction trades as well. And that's how that worked out for me. And thank God for Mr. G. He was my shop teacher who really noticed the talent. It worked out. I basically got, I didn't have to go to any classes. I didn't have to go to math. I didn't go to science. I didn't go to history. I did go to gym class because I did enjoy that. But I didn't have to do what the other guys kind of did, and that worked for me. So then once I dropped out and said, hey, I'm going to go to work, I started at Midas at $5.50 an hour, and there was a manager, Johnny Yaculo, who of course, there was two older guys in the shop, and it just seems like in our business people move on, and they lasted like maybe a year, and I started custom pipe bending. They taught me how to use the bender and read a program card, and then all I did, and this shop was a low volume shop in Glassboro, and actually Glassboro's a phenomenal area now. But But back in the 90s, for us, it really wasn't. We did okay. But my 4-base center far outperforms that 8-base shop now. But that was my specialty, was custom bending program card pipes for inventory, and then getting certified, with them for brakes and suspension, alignments and hunter training. So, I had some formal training in the 90s. But I was still making $5.50 an hour. I had a car, I had a Snap-on tool bill. Holy crap, right? And then these guys today, they're making almost triple what I was, and they're broke. And they don't know nowhere near what I know, and I'm not putting them down, because everybody's got it comes in time. When you work in a dealership, you get the insides on everything. You get the inside training, you get the inside TSBs, you get all the quirks, you get the reflashes and the updates way before the aftermarket gets an even sniff of that stuff. But yeah, $5.50 an hour. So tell me, and if you're embarrassed, you're embarrassed. If you're not, you're not. I'm not embarrassed. This is where I started from. What did you start in the industry? Bending wrenches. Let me know. I'm just curious. I'm sure other guys are probably less than that. It's possible. But yeah, that was me, $5.50 an hour.